Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Attitudes with Andy. I am so excited that you guys are here, choosing to click on a podcast that you know is going to better yourselves. Everyone, pat yourself on the back if it's safe to do so. We love that. So if you guys are new here, welcome to the party. This is a place where we get to learn and grow together on how we can be our best selves. And we do that through the incredible guests that we have on each week. So today we are talking about purpose. I don't know if you've ever heard someone say, oh, just follow your passion or your purpose. And you're like, all right, Susan, well, I don't know what it is. And then it freaking stresses you out because I have experienced that, especially after graduating uni. Everyone's like, what are you going to do? And you're like, oh my God, I don't know. It's okay. So I understand it can be a stressful, kind of scary, intimidating thing. So today's guest is going to help us find our purpose so we can feel truly fulfilled. Because as Tony Robbins says, success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure. It's one of my favorite quotes. So let me introduce our guest today. He eats, sleeps, and breathes his purpose in life, which is to lead men to their highest selves. He does this in the work he does as he is the head coach at Brotherhood Gym, which is a beautiful community for men to grow together. He is also a coach for Overcome the Chaos course, which teaches men how to level up and become the incredible humans that they are. Additionally, he has his own coaching and is currently changing men's minds, bodies, and souls. He truly embodies what he preaches, nourishing his body with good food, being consistent in the gym, and challenging himself always. Last weekend, Adam ran a 100-kilometer trail run in the freaking snow. So if that doesn't scream discipline, I don't know what does. Adam leads with pure love and good intentions. Everything he does is to serve others and is truly seen in the way he changes people's lives. So the amazing man I have on today is Adam Green.
Damn. Got me emotional. Oh, man. Thanks for that. That was a beautiful write-up. That was amazing. Wicked.
You're welcome. I meant every word.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you feeling?
Oh, I'm just all giddy now. That was sick. That was a nice write-up. Thanks for that.
Good. You should feel like, you should feel great because you really do have such an impact. When I speak to the boys at Brotherhood Gym, like they just speak of you so highly and just like the impact you have.
Oh, I love the boys.
Yeah, the boys.
Yeah.
So even though Adam is a men's coach, hopefully some of these like strategies or questions that we can ask ourselves can also help the ladies. So please don't be, like, oh, this is only for men. Like, no, we're here for the girls as well.
Yeah.
Maybe I can sprinkle in a little bit of femininity.
Exactly. It's versatile stuff. Obviously, I do a lot of men's work because I'm a man. I speak with men, to men, about men. I wouldn't speak to women about women because I'm not one. I can obviously talk about things that we both share in common, but I think if you're a woman looking for a coach, look for a woman that inspires you, who you want to be like. Same with a man. If you're a man who wants a coach, look for someone who is in the role you're doing as a man, doing the things you want to do. We just can think differently and act differently, so it's good to go to someone who is more similar to you. So I deal with men. Yeah.
I love that. That's really beautiful.
Yeah.
So to start things off, I thought I'd just give the people a quick rundown on what's going to happen. So obviously would love to kind of learn about your purpose and your journey to finding that. And then I've got some voice notes that people sent in for questions to play, and then a few that I'm going to read out because they didn't voice note it, which is fine. And then, so we might just do a bit of a Q&A afterwards.
Exciting.
So the first big, bold question I would like to ask you is, what is your purpose in life?
My purpose is to lead men to their highest selves by embodying my core values.
I love that.
That's my purpose. If you were asked what my core values are, love, discipline, integrity.
Wow.
There's more kind of sub-values and whatnot, but they're like the top three that resonate the most with me. Number one, always being love, because without love, there's nothing. That's the fuel to life. Discipline to me is the highest form of self-love. It is doing the things that you know you need to do for you, regardless of how you feel at the time. And then integrity is staying true to that, staying true to your words, staying true to the things you've said you're going to do, just staying true to your values and to your purpose. So they kind of all coincide to create that.
Yeah, wow. I love that. I think like knowing your values is really important, and I literally only kind of got asked to like think about my values when I went to something like maybe a month or two ago, and they were like, write down your 3 top values, and I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, sick.
I was like, I've never had to write this down. Like, I know in the back of my mind, like, if you look at your actions, you can see what your values are, but I've never, like, been like, this is what it should be. Anyway, so that was a really beautiful mission in life and values. I would kind of love to know the journey of Adam and how you kind of got in this position where you get to, help men.
Where to start? Alrighty. Since I was a kid, I kind of had a feeling and an urge for, it's the thing, every guy feels this way, a certain adventure, there's a draw, there's a pull to something greater than yourself, but you don't really know what that is at such a young age. You don't really know much about anything at such a young age. So first and foremost, as a young man, I needed to go on some kind of adventure, like a bit of the hero's journey kind of stuff. I needed to leave the comfortable home into the unknown. So when I graduated school, I joined the army. That was just wicked. So cool. I heard this saying, this girl told me, I'm going to use it a bit maybe today. It's called type 2 fun. Type 1 fun is when you're having fun in the moment. Type 2 fun is when you can look back and say, oh, that was fun, but at the time it really wasn't.
Yes.
It's like the army. Type 2 fun, it was a lot of hardship, a lot of laughs with the boys, a lot of just hard stuff, but cool stuff as well. That really gave me a lot of the work ethic and the resilience that I kind of take into every day now. But that was a big start to it. After leaving the army, I went traveling with a girl at the time. Not a good idea as a young man to travel with someone like you don't really know that well. We had about 3 or 4 months of backpacking, and I just didn't know who I was at all, and that it ended as it would have, as it should have, and we enjoyed the time it was, but then landed in the Gold Coast. I'm gonna chop this up into like little parts. So landed in the Gold Coast, still real young. Started working in retail at a shop called Culture Kings. You might have heard of it.
I've heard of that one.
It's pretty small. I knew I liked self-development, but I didn't really understand what it was. I wasn't too privy to the whole side of it, but I was into like improving and trying to get better at things, but hadn't really put 100% effort into something in a long time, because I think in the army we just kind of did, as if I did work hard there, but we just did what we're told, we do what we want, we do our best, but it wasn't like a specific thing that I'm going to choose what to do. It was kind of like, all right, this is put in front of you, do this. Now I got into a new role. I was at Culture Kings working retail. I was terrible at that job. I was real bad. I was real awkward. Like, people would come in and I was just like a stiff, rigid, like, hello, like a robot. And
I can't imagine that.
Yeah, no, it was bad. I had such anxiety, low confidence. I just was very nervous all the time. Would just break out in sweats and like go real red, and I'd have like my heart would just go brrrr, and I'd have to go into the back room and like pump out push-ups to try and like calm myself down.
Really?
Didn't know what breathwork was back then, but I was doing it because like we all breathe, you know. And I was like like that. It was just freaking out because people would come in. It's my job to try and serve them and like upsell them and take them through the store. General like communication with another human being. It wasn't there, kind of. I don't know what it was. In school, I was a witty kid. I was always like class clown, quick with reaction. So I'm like, where did that all go? I think the army was very laconic in the speak. It were very short sentence to the point. And when you go into like interpersonal connecting kind of stuff like that, that doesn't work. It's kind of like, hey, what do you want? Yep, there it is. People don't like that. So
they like charisma.
Charismatic men. So I had to become a charismatic man. What did I do? I wasn't getting shifts because I wasn't performing. I was really good at like the little tasks, like cleaning shit, and the managers loved that. But on paper, the big bosses just saw numbers. I wasn't making the numbers, so I wasn't getting many shifts. So I wasn't getting paid. I wasn't getting paid, so I wasn't eating. I was gonna die. So in my head, if I didn't get shifts, I would die.
So it made you really anxious?
It made me know that I need to get better.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Because I was living by myself. I was living with like a Swedish flatmate in Surfers Paradise in this crack hole apartment, which was so much fun. Yeah. But I needed to get better, so I Googled like how to talk to people better and how to win friends and influence people came up.
Stunning book.
Amazing book. I had always read like fiction books before that, and I got that, read that, and I was like, gee willikers, man, this is the golden ticket. This is it. So I started implementing the things I learned from that, which now like it's hard for me to even rattle off, but they're just ingrained in my head, like all these different cues, tactics, tips and whatnot to build rapport. Along with that though, I had a really amazing boss. Like the owner of Culture King, Simon Beard, was insanely into the self-development game. He was so onto it. He was like Tony Robbinsing the shit out of us. He was having like little meetings and teaching us things. So that was also like my first inspiration to work towards bettering myself was him. Plus reading that book, I started using those tools and I started just being a wizard on the floor. People would come in, would have laughs, would connect. I'd build such rapport that I'd spend money. And over time of just being consistent, I was just getting the reps in, practicing. Like it started real clunky. It was real awkward. I'd still have those like little moments like, oh, fuck. But over time, I'd get better at it. I'd try things over and over again until I realized what works, what doesn't. I'd realize that not every shoe is a fit for everyone, so I have to kind of tailor each person to how they act, and then I could quickly gauge people's energy. Now from doing that, I could gauge like this guy, he's acting like this. It's called mirroring. Simon taught us that you kind of just copy what they're doing, and if they're up here like this, I come in up here like this. If they're down like this, I come in like that. And so I quickly learned how to build rapport, how to talk to people. But I still look back and think I was never salesy. I was never pushy. Mine was just about trying to give the best service possible. How can I serve this person the best possible? I can give them all the options that they've asked for, all the things they want. I can give them things that might help. I can read their personality, think what might help them. I can show them all, and if they say no to all of them, I say, sweet, I tried my best. I was never one of those pushy guys. I just, in the gut, can't be like that. Like, I cannot be like, I just can't do it. It makes me cringe.
Yeah.
So I got really good at this job and eventually became their best employee.
Yes,
and
it
was
huge.
sick. From that, it was such an amazing company. They really reward their staff who work hard. So we did heaps of parties, met celebrities, went to like the different store openings, met freaking Drake, went to Las Vegas.
What?
Yeah, wild, right? We freaking did like a week of like pool parties and clubs in Vegas as like a work trip. That like I can never recreate that experience. It was all paid for. It was all VIP. I was 21.
Oof.
Oh.
Party.
Yep. So anyway, that was me getting into the self-development. I then from there leveled up to a point where I was like, okay, I don't really want to progress higher in the company in any other roles. There's not a lot that interests me now. And that's when this man walked into the shop, always had cash, always a fast, smooth talker. He said, do you want a job? And I said,
in that voice.
he goes, he's got a real deep voice too. He's like, do you want a job? And I was like, yes.
Yes, I do.
And that was down the road from here.
Ah.
And it was really, I told you about that one. Real estate, we were doing over-the-phone sales, Wolf of Wall Street style. So when I saw it, I was quite excited at the start. It was all like, yeah, selling stuff and like trying to close deals and all those kind of catchwords that sound like close deals, got a sales call and all this stuff. And it got me pretty giddy at first. And I realized I can't sit in front of a computer all day.
Yeah.
It took me a few weeks to realize that, but the stubbornness of me saying I have to stick to this job for at least 12 months before I'm quitting, man, I stayed there for 12 months. In that time, I lost who I was a bit. I lost a lot of melanin. I was inside all day. I was just getting real lazy, like doing like 12 or 10-hour days, 6 days a week on the phones and stuff. And I realized, okay, I feel like I have a purpose and this isn't it. And I started to toy with the idea of what's my purpose, what do I need to be doing. I started following a lot of different pages on Instagram and listening to different people talk about, working towards your purpose, working for doing the things you love, enjoying your life. And I just knew that chasing money in that job, it wasn't fulfilling at all. Like all the money in the world could come to me from that job, but I was still working 6 days a week, getting, a Saturday afternoon and a Sunday to myself and absolutely hating it, stressed out of my mind, feeling so lethargic and low energy and stressed all the time that this wasn't it. And I told you I'd leave that office, go walk to the park just across the road from here, take all my clothes off and work out in the sun. I just needed it. And then the boss would start telling me off for like taking breaks. And like, you got to work
That's ridiculous.
You got to eat your lunch at your desk. You got to do everything at your desk. Get in,
Oh my God.
an hour early, leave an hour later. I'm not getting paid for any of that. Like the extra time is like just what he expected. And then, so that wasn't fun. That wasn't good. I knew I could do so much more. There's a few things like I wanted to do and the partner of my time, who we love each other very much. It was at the time, she didn't understand what I was kind of feeling when I said like, I want to try and start. She did help me when I started Billy Vintage, the vintage clothing thing. Huge support, totally amongst it, totally helped.
Oh, you started a vintage clothing.
Oh yeah, At some point, I had an online store. And I was doing markets and stuff in between jobs.
Oh, cool.
So I was selling vintage T-shirts and like clothing at the markets, then online. It was just one of those passions and things I liked. I love, 60s, 70s stuff. So
yeah, you're a fashionable man.
oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Corduroy pants. Yeah. So this is crazy to think about this because I said to her, I want to go coach people how to get better at retail sales because that's something I was really good at.
Ah.
And she's just said, no, like I don't think anyone would pay you to do that. And that kind of just like crushed me a little bit.
Yeah.
And
especially when it's like somebody you love and like you value their opinion so much. Oh.
Yeah, and like that was the first idea of me like coaching people. It was kind of like, I think I'm really excited to help people improve themselves. And I came up with this idea that I'd go to all these different retail shops. I thought about it heaps. I'm like, this is how much I'd charge. This is what we'd do. This is how it'd work. And then told her everything, and she was just like, no, that's not going to work. And that just crushed me. And I was just like, all right, we'll forget about it then.
Oh, fuck.
Totally like scrapped that idea. And at this job, I was sitting there, and Kato and Guy had just started Brotherhood.
Mm-hmm.
And Leon goes, these guys, they do stuff you're into. They work out. They do breath work.
Is Leon your boss?
Leon was one of the bros. You know Cool to Be Conscious?
Oh, Leon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that man.
Lovely guy. So him
Oh,
and I,
he was in real estate.
we worked together, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's how everything happened. And from us being at that job, we've both gone and started doing our own, passions, our own purposes. So big ups to Leon.
Shout out to Leon.
Big stud. And he's like, they've got an event, their first ever event. Give it a crack. And I was just like, yep, I need to do something different. So I reached out to them at the same time. Still on this road, another job. There was
this road is traumatizing.
This road's got some people I know.
This road also has a terrible job that I used to work
Oh
for.
my
So,
gosh, let's burn it down.
Let's burn this road down.
No. So I was really not happy. The 12 months was coming up. I found out that my mate was doing disability support work with a company that's ex-army guys. So I'd be able to get in real easy.
Yeah.
It was all adventure therapy. And I'm like, I freaking love going out into nature. I need more of it. I'm craving it. Sign me up. So I walked out of my office, walked around to there and said, hey, I'm looking for a job. They said, come back like in 2 days with a resume and an interview. Came back in 2 days, got the job. Hadn't told these guys, the real estate guys yet. Went off to this Advanced Alpha retreat, and it just absolutely, like, there's a dragon inside of me. There's a fucking powerful dragon, and this thing broke down the caves and the walls that was holding it, and I just jumped out of that cave as the freaking dragon, man. And that lit a fire, and that started a cascade of knock-on effects. But I quit that job. I started doing the disability support. I started working on myself. My partner at the time and I, which we knew we shouldn't be together, decided to split up. Whirlwind, just a whirlwind of a time. Crazy stuff. And from there, I started to find my own courage. I was on my own now for the first time in years. I was doing this job that still wasn't my purpose, but it was closer to it. It was a little bit more fulfilling.
Yeah. You felt like you were on the right path?
Exactly. I was on the path.
Yeah.
And I was with the Brotherhood boys. I had an opportunity. I had all this gym gear. I'd been working out for a long time. I understood a lot about training people, training myself. So I said, boys, I'll start coaching the days you're not coaching, and we'll launch Spartan Strong. So Guy and I kind of collaborated to make Spartan Strong part of Brotherhood training. So I was doing the disability support, coaching with Brotherhood, and all within a few months, like, life was just changing. And then, so my partner and I were still kind of like not fully split up. She was kind of in and out. We were still kind of like together. We were still like paying rent together and stuff. But December 16th rolled around, and there was a big controversy in regards to the vaccinations. I trusted my health, and I said, I'm not going to get it because I don't want to risk it just yet.
Yeah.
And the job said, all right, well, you can't work with us anymore. Same day, my ex just said, all right, we're going to like fully cut ties. So completely jobless, and no financial support from her, she wasn't paying rent or anything, she wasn't helping me with the bills, which she did tremendously. She was an awesome help the whole time, and appreciate that relationship heaps. But yeah, December 16th, massive day. I decided to go all in on me. Didn't want to get another job. Didn't want to do anything else other than coach. I'd found a path. I wasn't 100% clear. I had barely any money coming in, and I started watching this guy called Corey Bowell.
Yes, Corey!
Yeah, massive stud. I was just like, fuck, man, this guy speaks. Sorry, can I swear or not?
Of course.
Shit, yeah.
Frig yeah.
I started watching his stuff. I'm like, this all resonates so deeply with me. I need to talk with him. Invited him out. Tried to send him a few messages a few times. Was kind of like, yeah, hey.
You're like, hey, do you feel like a needy ex or something?
Yeah, I was just like, hey, bro, like, awesome stuff, man. I was a fanboy. And then he finally like cottoned on. He came to one of when we ran the next Advanced Alpha. He came to that. So I was now running events with Brotherhood, coaching with them. We were building stuff. So it was wicked. He came and did a speech. I was like, hey, man, afterwards, I'm like, I want to do what you do. I want to be in your shoes. I want to coach people how you do. Let's chat. And he's like, yeah, no worries. And then I kind of saw his course. He was running a course he'd just launched. I'm like, if I get on your course, if I buy your course, bear in mind I had fuck all money. Sorry, I had very little money coming in. It was pretty expensive. It was the biggest investment in myself that I would have ever done.
How much was it?
2,500 at the time.
So 2,500. Yeah, that's huge, especially when you have no money coming in.
No money coming in,
and when you haven't like invested like in that type of course. Had you ever done a course?
The only other thing I'd invested in was a $300 half day Call to Be Conscious event. Yeah, which I should have mentioned that was absolutely awesome. That was so amazing. That was one of those things that awoke the spirituality in me. It helped me get through a lot of blockages and self-belief stuff. So shout out to Call to Be Conscious. You guys are absolute gems, beautiful humans. That was definitely a huge piece of the puzzle in regards to me doing the self-development stuff, because I realized, firstly, all the stuff in their event actually helped. Secondly, I looked around and I looked at everyone who had bought a ticket. I looked at all the expenses they would have put into this, and I looked at what they delivered. Amazing value, but shit, they would have made a good bit of coin for that. So I'm like, I can do stuff like this and I can live off it. It can be a career. Yeah. But yeah, did the course, met a bunch of studs with the Overcome the Chaos course, was absolutely just enthralled in the information that Corey was in the lecture was giving us. The calls were sick, the worksheets were sick, major breakthroughs. The first week, you start to look at your why, your purpose. Your burp. Yep. And to find your purpose, you ask yourself, why? Why everything? Why do you do this? Why do you do that? You break it down. Why is that important to you? Why is that important to you? You really break it down. And I got to, firstly, there's this big fuck off paragraph of stuff that like kind of was like, oh, this is my purpose. This is too long. This is too much. Then we broke it down. Now it's to lead men to their highest selves by embodying my core values. That is my purpose. That is what most resonated with me. Went through this whole course, and Corey was like, sick, you said you wanted to do the stuff I do. Do you want to work with me? And I said, shit, yeah.
Fuck yeah, I do.
Yeah, I do. So I started working with him and the amazing team, George, Glenn, Lockie.
Oh my God, how cool is George?
George is the man.
Do you know we literally, I haven't met him in person, but like we've just connected through Instagram, and then we'll like hype each other up when someone posts something.
Yeah, George. Shout out to George. I love you, George. I love you, George. Man. He's just, he's such a nice guy. Such a good dude.
So good.
But yeah, like in the space of 12 months, my life went from miserable job. I hated what I was doing. I didn't enjoy life. I was very sad and I was very lethargic and I was very depressed to, holy shit, is this what I can do in 12 months? Let's start looking at 12 years now. Let's start pushing it out. And it was just a huge whirlwind of events, but it all started with just taking the plunge to go all in on you. And like, that's it. That was the big step. That was a long story. I apologize. Talk your ear off.
Oh my God, no. It was so interesting. And I love that you're like, in 12 months I managed to do that, because I feel like until you experience it, you don't realize how much change you can have in 12 months. Yeah. But it's like actually crazy.
It was nuts.
Yeah. And the amount of growth. And I think that just shows, because I think like proximity is power, and like being around the right people is crazy insane. Like,
oh yeah.
Like just your circles and
Yep.
then like the conversations you have and the new people you meet and then the opportunities
Yep.
is just insane. So I just want to go back to how you guys were finding your purpose, how Corey does helps
Mhm.
people find, and saying like why. Can we like break that down and like give examples of that?
Well, that exercise alone is the why exercise. 11 questions. You ask yourself, why is this important to you? And you start with one statement. That our statement was, why did you sign up for this course?
Okay.
And 11 times over, and you can't repeat yourself. We ask, why is that important to you? And you have to just continuously flesh out and unwind and pull apart your own brain to answer these questions. And it's just over and over and over. Like, why is that important to you? Where you'd start by saying like, investing in myself and improving myself is important, to like number 7, my bloodline needs me to survive strong to do that. And all this crazy stuff just gets pulled out. And then you get to the crux of it and you start seeing like repetition. You start seeing, all right, I tried not to repeat myself, but over and over again, like these little things kept coming up. And the biggest one for me was just to inspire people by being an inspirational person, to lead people from the front. I've never liked a leader who would sit behind and whip the people. I like the leader who'd be at the front dragging with them. So I've always wanted to be that person that is less talk, more action. The reason what I say has power is because what I say comes from powerful places. So it's never been like listen to me because I'm the man. It's been, all right, I've done this and I've failed many, many times so that you can succeed first time kind of thing. Like, it's just lead from the front. And that's why I got to lead men to their higher selves. Like, lead was the biggest thing, because I think deep down I've always wanted to be some kind of leader, because I felt that like through school, through everything, I was always scared to step up. I knew I could do it, but I was just too scared to. And then, you got to find your courage, find your feet. But leading people feels good. I don't know if that's egoic or not, but it feels really nice to lead people in good situations and in bad, to be there for them as well. So lead men to the higher selves by embodying my core values. You have to be integral to that. You can't stray from your values if you're in charge. You have to be always on.
Yeah. I love that. And people like always pick up on the actions people say, not the words that they say.
Yep.
And so like embodying that is just crucial. Like that's all the leaders that I look up to talk a lot less and embody so much. And I'm like, oh, I really admire that in them and stuff. So that's nice. So purpose, do you think everyone has a purpose?
Yeah. Everyone's got a purpose.
I agree.
Everyone's got a reason they're alive, they're on this universe, whether they know it or not, whether they ever find it or not, they have a purpose. And I just really hope that everyone can start thinking more about it, start escaping the thought of this, get through life, get to retirement, retire and spend a few years of all right life. I hope people start realizing that they can live, they can create abundance, they can have money, have family, have friends, and all that coming from them doing what they love. They don't need to go work for someone else's dream. That's my main thing, is just to inspire people to understand that they can work their own passion to make them money, and they can enjoy the entirety of their life, not waiting for retirement. So that's like a big thing for me, is to let everyone know that.
Definitely.
You can do it.
You can do it.
Yep.
Because, well, in my opinion, I'm like, I have never actually worked like a 9 to 5 for like longer than like 3 months. Actually, to be
It's wicked.
I can't do it.
Yep.
It's not for me. But like going after your dreams might be scary. Well, it should be scary because it means you're expanding, and terrifying. It might feel awful, but sitting in an office, slaving away for someone 9 to 5, 5 days a week for like 30, 40 years, that sounds way worse.
Yep.
I'm like, that sounds a lot scarier.
Oh, yeah. I'm just saying that, like, I've been saying it a lot more to myself, and I just constantly kind of say it over and over to the guys, is you've got options, right? So you can either spend your whole life striving for your purpose, you can spend your whole life trying to reach your purpose, or you can die, okay? That sounds grim. But if you spend your whole life in, that's not really it, but I'll explain it. If you spend your whole life in pursuit of purpose and you die, let me rephrase that whole thing.
Okay.
Spend your whole life chasing your purpose, you'll either succeed or you'll die.
Mm-hmm.
So you can spend your whole life in pursuit of purpose, and what better way to live than there is? What is a better way to live? You can spend your whole life in pursuit of your purpose. You may succeed. If you don't succeed, you'll probably die. If you spend your whole time doing it, you've just spent your whole life chasing something that you love. And what better way to live than that? If you get it, you've just got it. How great. So all you got to do is consistently chase your purpose, and you'll either succeed or you'll die. And there's no better option. That's great. You die happy because you tried your best trying to get your purpose, or you succeeded. Epic. On to the next one.
What do you mean you died trying to get your purpose?
Well, you spent your whole life in pursuit of greatness. Isn't that a great life?
Oh, no, but do you mean like get your purpose as in finding it or making your...
No, in pursuit of your purpose. So my purpose is to lead men to their higher selves. If I spent my whole life in pursuit of that, I've had a good life.
Okay.
Some people might be, my pursuit is to get to the moon. And if they spend their whole life trying to get to the moon and never make it, they just spend their whole life doing the things they love. So they might not have made it, but they had a great life.
Okay. And then they're not on the deathbed like, what if?
They're not sitting in bed like, man, I could have tried harder. Man, like, I wish I just actually tried for that. They'd be like, oh, man, I've tried hard. I don't need a nap. Yeah.
The longest nap. Okay. That's interesting because I think that your purpose is like you've already achieved it and you can continue achieving it.
Myself, personally, or everyone?
Yeah, yours.
I think unless I've affected the entirety of the male population in the whole world, I can keep trying.
Oh, 100%. Like,
yeah.
It's not about like, it's just something that, well, in my opinion, it's like my purpose is like, I feel like hopefully I've already like achieved sprinkles of it, but then I can like keep doing it on like a bigger scale.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly. And that's the thing. I can keep expanding and growing. My purpose might be somewhat fulfilled, but not entirely. There's always more I can do. And at the same time, you have to have that balance of I am completely content and fulfilled with life, but there's also I want more. So it's like, yeah, I've reached my purpose. I've found it, but there's always more I can do in chasing of it.
Okay, so I would love to kind of break things down.
Break it down now.
Break it down. Wait, 1 second. I just wanted to double check we were recording. Could you imagine we weren't?
Imagine that.
I would cry.
Retake.
Tears.
Tears of pain.
Tears would be rolling down my face. Okay, so I think...
Oops, I just whacked your shelf. I'm sorry.
It's all right. So I think that your story is so beautiful, and I like that you've like tried a lot of things, and you've been like, oh, okay, divert, next thing. Oh, divert, next thing, and like lesson learned. It seems like you're a quick learner. I think a lot of people seem to like think that they just need one job, or like they'll just get one job, and then they'll just stay there and be like, oh well, I guess this is it, because they like don't think that there's anything like better. And they might listen to this and be like, oh yeah, but you just felt like you had this in you. What happens if people are like, I have no idea what I'm interested in, what my passion is, you know, and they're just feeling like really lost and confused, and they think that they don't have one. So 1, you guys have one, that's exciting. But 2, like what would kind of be your advice to those people?
Firstly, I love your green nail polish on your toes. It's cool.
Thanks, I did it for you.
Oh, thank you.
It's
Secondly, it is Christmas. Merry Christmas. Secondly, you said it best. Go out and try a bunch of different things. Because like in between that whole story, there was like little side quests. Like I went to do, I'm like, maybe I'll go try a trade. And 7 days of trade. I did 6 days, sorry. I quit Culture Kings, went to do cabinet making because I thought, yeah, I just want to work with my hands. I hadn't really researched this role, and I should have been a bit suspicious when they didn't even ask for a resume. They're like, yep, you got the job. I just walked in like, yep, you got the job. And it was a dreary place of dreary people that weren't living happy. And I looked at everyone there, and I said, there's nobody here that I aspire to be like. So 6 days passed. I crashed 1 truck. I got 2 fines. I ate a lot of 7-Eleven food, and I'm like, this isn't for me.
Yeah, no thanks. Next.
I don't know. The crash of the truck was like, you know, they made me drive the truck straight away because they gave me the joke 'cause I had my license. Everyone there had like DUIs and stuff, or you know, all the bad things.
Oh no.
Anyway, moral of the story is try lots of things. So there's no, like, if you don't like your job, just quit it. There's nothing saying that you don't owe anyone. There's no obligation to you staying there. You don't owe the boss. You don't owe anyone. Your happiness should be your most important thing, because if you're not happy, how can you spread happiness? So if you're not happy at your job, just quit it. Go try another one. If you get there and you don't like that one, I mean, give it enough time to understand, but you generally have a gut feeling after a few months. Like, look around at everyone working there. If there's no one there that you aspire to be like, you're probably in the wrong room. So quit that job too. Keep going through until you find a job like, oh man, this is super exciting, and you stay there for a long time and it stays super exciting. You stay on the path, you stay disciplined, or just do a bunch of stuff until you realize, I don't even want to work for anyone else. I want to work for me. Like, you probably have a gut feeling already, and I think a lot of people do have a gut feeling deep down if they were to ask themselves, like, what brings you joy? What brings you passion? What do you enjoy doing? What are you passionate about? What do you like? What do you spend most of your time thinking about if it's not, work or groceries? And for me, I'd spend a lot of time thinking about coaching people in fitness. I'd spend a lot of time researching how to work out better, nutrition, mindset stuff, and that's what I spent all my time doing outside of work. So I thought, why don't you just make that work? So you probably have an idea in your mind what you think of a lot, what consumes your brain. Go and try and find a career in that. And if you can't find a career in that, make a career in that. And that was the thing. Like, through all those little jobs, I built competence. Through competence, I built confidence. With the confidence, it gave me the courage to step out of the norm 9 to 5 and try and create my own role. So do a lot of things, get very competent. From that competency, you'll build confidence. From that confidence, you'll build courage. From that courage, you can step out into the world and try and take on whatever task it is that you want to achieve.
Yeah.
So,
oh my God, that's so good. I love that. And just trying things is so important, because knowing what you don't want to do is just as important as knowing what you do want to do.
So important. So important. Man, I hate office jobs, so don't work another one.
Yeah.
Get out of the office job.
Yeah, literally.
Yep.
And like, when you were like, oh, I hated my real estate job, I was like, oh, how good is it hating a job? Because, like, obviously make sure you quit, but like, it is good, because then you know, okay, I don't like that setting, I don't like that setting.
Yep.
And just like, my resume, if I did it legitly, would have so many jobs on it, because I too have tried lots.
Yeah.
And like, not everyone is built to be a boss. Like, I didn't understand that. I was like, wait, you guys don't want to be your own boss? Like, a lot of people maybe don't want that, but there is a job that they would love.
Yep.
And you got to allow yourself and believe that it's out there, and not just be like, oh, well, this is good, it pays the bills.
Yep.
Because you're going to die.
You're going to die.
You're going to die.
You're going to die. And you're totally right too. There's a job for everyone, and you might see someone doing a job that you think, man, I hate to do that, but that person is happy as fuck in that job. Like, they might be out there holding the stop sign, the lollipop sign, or whatever it is. They might be out there filling trenches with cement. And don't look at them and be like, oh man, they're not following their passion, because they might fucking love cement, That might be their job, but you can generally tell in the person's eyes when they talk about what they do, if they love it or not. And if that person's lit up with what they say, what they're doing, then shit yeah to them. If they're not, say, hey, do you enjoy what you do? Try something different if you don't. Because you'll meet a lot of people that have that spark, and you'll meet a lot of people who say, oh yeah, I just can't wait for the weekend.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
No. Ugh.
What is that? That is
what
not good.
It is living for the weekend. Yeah. That is a huge indicator. If you're like living for the weekend and dreading Mondays.
Yeah.
Oh, there's nothing worse. I'm just thinking back to the beginning of this year when I hated my job, and like just dreading when it was like the night before. And like, I found I would procrastinate going to sleep, because if I went to sleep, then I'd have to wake up and go to this job.
Oh.
I was like, why the fuck am I staying up so late watching TV, scrolling on Instagram? Because usually I'm a grandma.
Yep.
But then I was like, oh my God, I'm just procrastinating going to sleep because
Heck yeah.
I don't want to wake up in the morning.
Yep.
It's so sad.
Yep. But look at you now.
But look at me now.
Yeah.
Okay, so I thought we could play some of these voice notes and answer them.
Ricky, cool.
Yeah.
Well, we wait. If you're a person on the Gold Coast, how do you spend your Saturday mornings? 5:55 a.m. Come down to Burleigh Beach, Familyhood Gold Coast. Free event for the community. We work out, we breathe, we connect. We have coffee at Sea Dog, the best cafe on the coast. Come on down.
Yes. Okay, and now we're ready.
We're rolling.
Quick ad break.
Yep.
Sponsored by Familyhood. Okay, so let's go back.
Green is.
Sorry, I'm trying to play this. Okay, are you ready?
Ready.
Yeah.
Shoot.
My question for Mr. Adam Green is, how do you know and what are the signs that you found your purpose?
Nice one. Nice one, anonymous caller. How do you know and what are the signs you found your purpose? How do you know and what are the signs you found your purpose? Well, generally, you should find your purpose through a lot of inner work. So you kind of have a brief or I guess a grasp on the actual things you're doing. But a big thing for me personally, knowing that I had found my purpose and I was on the path, is I would wake up beaming to go, just excited as whether it's 4 a.m. and it's raining, whether it's, late nights doing other stuff, or it's just throughout the day, I would go to Brotherhood, run sessions, I would leave them with almost tears of joy. Like, it's called the Friday blues to me. Like, it's not even, not the blues, but the Friday, like, I'd leave, it happened every Friday, I'd go run a session there, because I'd run other sessions throughout the week, but this one was different. It would be the end of the week, it's the last Brotherhood session before Familyhood hits. I'd run the session, it'd be kick-ass, we'd get a coffee, I'd be driving home, I'm sandy, shirt off, it's Friday morning, and like, just the vibes are different, and I'd blast some music, and I'd sing along, and I'd half cry, because I'm like, I freaking love my life, this is amazing. I'd be driving, I don't know, down back home. I've got like a few speeding tickets down this certain road, because I was just fucking in it. Whitney blaring, me crying, like, this is awesome. So I think that's a clear sign that I found my purpose.
Yeah.
Another one is I'd constantly have to pinch myself and be like, shit, this is my life. This is what I'm doing for work. This is like, I don't know how I'm getting paid for this. This is insane. Obviously, I now see the value and what it brings to people, so I understand how I get monetary gain from it. But I was just like, holy shit, this is my life. We're out in the bush screaming in an ice bath, and I am being paid to be here. We are on the beach, sitting in the sun, doing breath work, and I'm being paid to be here. These people are all rocking up each day to come hang out in this big tribe of people, and this is my life. Like, that's how I knew I found my purpose, because I was just like, I could do this for the rest of my life, and I would be happy. And that's like an awesome Friedrich Nietzsche, the philosopher.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to probably butcher the crap out of this, but it would say there'd be this man walking down a road, and out would jump this demon in the middle of the road. That's a Tenacious D song. And he would say, you are cursed to live this day for the rest of your life. And there's two options. The man would run off screaming and crying, be like, no. Or the man would be singing with joy and be like, shit, yeah, man. And that's me. I'm the second guy. Because if someone said to me on a Friday or any day of the week, you have to relive the day for the rest of your life, because I'm living with my purpose, with passion, with the people I love, with my best mates, I'd cry. Man, this is awesome. I get to do this every single day for the rest of my life. So, long story short, if you want to know you found your purpose, what are the signs and symptoms? If you're crying with gratitude and fulfillment in the Friday morning or whatever day it is, and you're just so stoked to do the things you're doing every single day, I think you're on the path.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
it's so beautiful. Oh, I agree. That is stunning. Okay. Next question I have for you. This one is not a voice note. So how did you swap from your normal life to start following your purpose? How did you make the transition from the 9 to 5? So you didn't really make the transition. It just got cut off. So how did you find that from when you couldn't work anymore to making enough money to like actually live? Was there quite a big gap, and was that stressful?
Well, firstly, thank the universe for giving me a massive kick up the bum, because maybe I would never have gone the right way if that didn't happen. So I'm so grateful for everything that happened, for all the at the moment scary times. I was so grateful for that. And deep down, like, I wasn't scared, because I had this innate trust that it was going to work out. And I had this, whether it's like God or the universe or whatever it is, I'm like, I have this big trust in something, and I trust in me. Like, I think this is going to work out. So to answer the question, how did I transition? It's to go all in. Tony Robbins says it a lot, burn the boats. A lot of people say it, there's that quote, if you want to take the island, burn the boats. The boats were well and truly burnt. There was no going back. There was only going forward and taking the damn island. So to make the transition, you have to put yourself in an uncomfortable position where you don't have a plan B. If you really want to survive, if you really want to swim with the sharks, you got to jump in there. You got to jump into the deep end. It may be really scary, and it's not necessarily potentially the best way to do it. It might be very hard if you cut off all financial ties and other jobs and just go straight into this. It might be real hard, and at the time it was, but it made me learn a lot quicker and experiment, try things a lot quicker. As soon as it happened, I launched this idea that I've been toying with, where I would put guys through a 12-week course myself, and like I barely had the confidence to ask for the money even. I was like, okay, on the call with them, I'm like, okay, and that's like it's $2,000, or like certain guys sign up for different things, and I'm like, is that all good? And now I'm just like, this is the price. Do you want it or not? Like, we'd have a big talk about it, but at the time I was like really scared, had no money coming in, and then I'm like, all right, fuck, I just got to try. So I started making calls. I got some guys who were keen to do it, sign up, and then all of a sudden I had a bit of money coming in. So I was like, all right, sweet, let's try this again. Let's keep trying it. Let's kind of improve on that. And I don't know, that big cutoff where it's like you have to pay the bills or you're gonna die feeling came back, and there was no safety net. So the boats were burnt. All I could do was take the island.
And the dragon was awoken.
The dragon was alive. Yep. Something about it. And that time, like this time last year, was an absolutely enthralling, amazing experience. And so much was happening and so many cool people were around me. So you're totally right. Whoever is around you, like, is going to help you, because I could not have done anything without the beautiful friends around me, the supporting people. Everything was just, I don't know, everything just worked out because I just had the trust, had the faith in myself and the people around me. Everything just worked out. And it's just like the alchemist, like, if you know what your purpose is and you strive towards it, the universe will reward you. So make that leap.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah, it was wild times.
Wild times. I love a bit of stress getting thrown in the deep end.
Yep.
God. Okay. Next question. Let's have a voice note first.
Oh yeah.
Okay. This is a sexy voice. Are you ready? All right.
I don't know.
What questions does one have to ask themselves when they begin?
Oh, Instagram limit came up.
Ah, yes, the old time limit. Throw it away.
Okay, let's start that again. All right.
What questions does one have to ask themselves when they begin searching for their purpose?
I think that man already knows. I think we've talked about it. I think I know who that is. Anyway, what questions does one have to ask themselves? All right, what lights you up? What are you excited about? What makes you giddy? What are you passionate about? What do you think about in the times before you go to sleep, the times when you wake up, the times when you're brushing your teeth, you're on the toilet, in the shower? What do you think about all the time? Disregard, the groceries, the bills, your current job that you don't enjoy, and what do you think about? And then ask yourself why. Why is that important to me? Why do I want to do this? If you have an idea of like, maybe I want to do this, ask yourself why. Find that answer and ask why again. Keep asking why. Keep getting to the absolute guts of you and what excites you, and ask yourself, why does that excite me? All right, that's my answer. Why does that excite me? Why does that light me up? Why is that important to me? So a big one is why and what. What lights you up and why.
Those are good ones.
Yeah.
I like that. How aesthetic was his voice? I was like, you should do voiceovers.
Can you say his name? Is that who I'm thinking it is?
Huh?
Can I see the screen?
It was Mr.
Oh, yeah.
Did you think it was someone else?
I thought it was the other bro. He's got a sexy voice. I was with him the other day, actually.
Ah, okay.
We were doing some sexy stuff. Not like anything weird or anything, but like,
Sure.
he's a great guy.
Okay. Next one is not a voice note. So, did you deal with imposter syndrome when you first started coaching / posting content? If so,
Sorry.
what strategies did you use to overcome it?
Oh
How
my
good is that question?
God. It's a great question, and holy shit, yeah. Yes, the answer is yes. I did have to deal with that. To answer it, I had to continuously reaffirm myself that what I'm saying makes sense and is legitimate, because I've put in a lot of time and effort to learn it, to understand it, and then to speak it. So
and to embody it.
And to embody it, exactly. I had to live integral to it. It rears its head a little bit every now and then when you step to the next level. You get that imposter syndrome, like, why should I be here? And there's lots of times where I was in rooms with people that I would just be like, holy shit, it's that person, and look what they're doing, and I'm like, why am I even in this room? You just got to like just push that voice away and say, okay, I'm here for a reason. Whether it's the universe or myself, like I've got myself to this room for a reason. I've been invited here for a reason. It's not just pure sheer luck or a mistake on their typewriter. You're here for a reason. You're doing this. People are listening to you for a reason. It's because you know what you're saying. You've researched it. You've embodied it. You've developed it. So just tell yourself, I am here for a reason. There's a reason I'm here today, and I need to do my best to constantly like prove that. But I didn't fall here by mistake. I'm here on purpose, on intention. So that's it.
It's good that you felt uncomfortable. They say you're at the right table when you feel uncomfortable, because it means you're going to have to level up.
Yep.
And expand.
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah. Great question.
Good question.
Okay. I have 2 more.
Alrighty.
So. All right.
It's a menacing laugh.
Adam, it's Sammy and Ando. I'm your #1 fan. I freaking love this podcast so much. Just getting that out there. So thank you. All right, Adam, got your question. I've found myself in a place before where I've been super happy with the way life is going and I hadn't really had a purpose. But I was just wondering if you feel that it's necessary to have like a defined purpose for life, or whether it's just okay to drift through. I feel like I'm getting to more of a place now where I'm finding purpose, but I've also been happy in the past just drifting through. So I just want to get your opinion on that. Thanks.
What's up, Sammy? I miss you. Hope your travels are safe. Okay. Well, I know Sammy's quite young. And I know how he feels because there was a certain time where I was just happy drifting through. But only so long can you drift before you start to feel lost. There needs to be some kind of direction. If you were to ask yourself on your deathbed, was I happy with drifting through life the entirety of the time, collecting memories along the way, maybe, not really making any kind of direction or path? Some people might be totally okay with that. Me personally, no way. I want to get to my deathbed having created something that's bigger than myself, and I know a lot of people will resonate with that. But you do need a period of just lonesome travel or just drifting to understand, again, what you do and don't like. You need to have that period of just kind of going with the flow to find out whether you like that or not. But I think, me personally, when I was going through that drifting phase, I was quite, to go into like the masculine, feminine kind of thing, I was quite feminine, just going with the flow, letting life veer me around with no sense of purpose or direction. And that at times was quite fun, but I felt myself, laying down to life, saying, all right, you just do what you want with me. Whereas now I feel like once you're out of that stage, like, okay, I've had that stage, I understand that that's not what I want. I can go on and find some kind of direction, because if you just spend your whole life drifting, I feel like that'll be quite unfulfilling. There's not much impact made or left. Some people can get through that whole life, but I honestly would doubt that they feel 100% fulfilled at their deathbed from doing nothing their whole life.
Definitely. I think that's so cool that you're like, fast forward, 80 years, ask yourself, would I be glad that I drifted or not? And it's interesting that Sammy says like drifting, because I know Sammy is really wants to find his purpose. And so he's doing things. He's trying things. So I'm like, Sammy, I don't think you're drifting. I think you're exploring, and that's great.
Yep.
I always think about life, you're trying all the different ice cream flavors.
Yep.
And that's what he's currently doing.
Yep.
Yeah. So
perhaps he's not drifting, because I know he is still quite young too. So you need to go and do those drifting, exploring, adventuring things into the unknown. And we've talked about this already. You go find out what you do and don't like. So Sammy, keep adventuring, keep exploring. You will find the purpose that best calls you. If you keep doing the inner work and you keep traveling and you keep going through life looking for adventures, you will find what really hits home for you that you want to spend all your time doing. So don't worry too much about feeling like you're drifting. You're such a young man, so just keep doing those adventures, and something will stick soon.
Yeah. Oh, that's so stunning. Okay, I have one last one.
Boogity boogity.
Boogity boogity. All right. Okay. How do I start this again? Oh no, I don't want to laugh react.
Why not?
If you haven't
Here we go.
answered it, what is your purpose in life? Second question is, what are you currently doing that is serving your purpose? And then third question is, what is the biggest hurdle or challenge that you have occurred in your life that has tested you and your purpose? And then a sneaky extra question, how old were you and what had occurred for you to give yourself the nickname The Dragon?
Fucking knew it. I knew that was coming.
Wait, he had something at the start cut out.
Hey, Adam, I have a few questions for you.
Oh,
So
okay.
the first one
It's
is,
all good. All right. Perfect. So you've answered the first question.
Yep.
Can you remember the last two?
So he asked, what is your purpose? To lead men to the highest selves by embodying my core values. What was the next question was, how do you embody it? I think it was something like that. Or what do you do to live by it?
Yeah.
Do you want to get that up? This guy's a good guy, by the way. This question came from an amazing man who's put in so much work on himself in the last 8 months or so since I've known him to absolutely grow into this amazing man. So to this person, you know who you are. You're a freaking stud, man.
He is. He's
He is.
beautiful. Okay. Sorry, but we have to re-listen to
Let's
you.
really, let's pause it and then we'll go. And then we'll,
if you haven't already answered it, what is your purpose in life?
Done.
Second question is, what are you currently doing that is serving your purpose? And then
Okay.
What am I currently doing that is serving my purpose? I spend most days with Brotherhood and set the standard or overcome the chaos in the Corey Boutwell community. Firstly, Brotherhood, training the fellas, body, mindset, spirit, soul, all that. I spend most days doing that, and that is immensely fulfilling to my purpose, as well as I spend a lot of time working on myself, which is, it sounds like if I break it down, my purpose is somewhat selfish. It's just I want to keep working on me my whole life to inspire other people to do the same. So I spend a lot of time trying to learn, train, doing the crazy fun things for me that I can use to improve myself. So I do that. A lot of my day looks like coaching people and coaching myself and being coached. So that is what I do daily to strive towards my purpose.
And you have a coach as well?
Yes.
Yeah. And do you think that's important for people to have a coach?
Heck yes. Go find someone that is doing what you want to do and try your best to get any kind of mentorship from them. If you got to pay them whatever you can, pay them. As long as they're not trying to like sell your snake oil, go find someone that is integral, who is doing what you want to do, and try and work with them. Try anything you can to be around them, because you will learn so much a lot quicker than, just going out there by yourself and trying and failing. They have made many mistakes that you might not have made, and they can teach you how to avoid that.
Can I ask what's the biggest financial you've paid for a coach? Financial amount?
I'm going to be honest. The first coach I landed on stuck, Corey.
Yep.
I paid $2,500.
Yeah.
And from there I started working with him, and he's been coaching me for free since then.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Cool.
I know down the line I'm going to spend ridiculous amounts of money. I've bought a lot of different courses and stuff. Like each course has been a couple of hundred. Bought like different courses online, a lot of different resources and stuff. But my coach, Corey, we have such a good friendship now too, which is awesome, amazing. Going from like fangirling in the DMs to him fangirling my DMs. Love ya. But yeah, so pretty much we have calls every week. We chat every other day. It's been a bit different. Like we've been heaps busy lately, so we need to catch up again. But we do scheduled calls every week,
Yeah.
and that's how we roll.
That's awesome.
Yep.
I love that. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Because I think like you don't realize that you're cock blocking yourself most of the time. Like you are your biggest
Yep.
self-sabotager or not even self-sabotaging, but
Quick side note, while we're mentioning Corey,
Mm-hmm.
that was just an absolute huge thing. I appreciate him so much because he believed in me he still continues to put his belief in me when I feel like I am not where I could be doing. When I feel down, he's just constantly like, I don't know, he can read it and he just sends me a text and it's like, boom. And he just,
Wow.
so awesome dude. Major appreciation to him.
Oh, that's so special.
Yep,
Yeah. What a king.
he is.
Okay, let's play the last question of this man's long voice note.
Third question is, what is the biggest hurdle or challenge that you have occurred in your life that has tested you and your purpose? And then
He's got a sneaky one after that too.
I
What is the
know.
biggest hurdle? This is real hard because I feel like I have a lot of type 2 fun where like hard things happen, but I reflect on them as like wicked times. Like
Yeah.
everything that's happened, whether it's been good or bad, has been like, shit, yeah, that was awesome. Like wasn't that funny as? Biggest hurdle, like maybe financially, like the year's been really weird. But at the same time, it hasn't like, money hasn't like, I'm not a millionaire. I haven't like been making heaps of money,
Yeah.
but it'll always just come when I need it. Like it will just, whenever I need more money just, I don't know, appears. Like ridiculous how it sounds, but the whole year I've always paid my bills. Like I went straight away, went cold turkey with any other job and just worked on coaching. And every week rent's been paid on time, bills have been paid. I've eaten ridiculously good food. Like I've spent way more than the normal person would on food. I'm always open for dinners with friends and whatnot. I'm not, because I mean, I save a lot of money because I don't go out drinking and shit like that all the time. Sometimes I do go out and have one or two. But the biggest hurdle has probably been having trust that it's going to work out. Trust in myself. Don't overthink. Don't stress out because it's all going to work out in the end. It's all going to work out. Just the biggest hurdle was having the faith, keeping the faith alive.
Yeah.
Got to keep the faith, as I think as John Bon Jovi once said. Pretty sure that's John Bon Jovi. Yeah, that's been the biggest hurdle. Physically, had a lot of tough challenges, and that's freaking sick. And I love hardship and I love suffering because at the end of the suffering, there's a bit of bliss that's just like, oh, that was wicked. Done.
Wow.
Yeah.
And the last bit of this question is,
sneaky extra question. How old were you and what had occurred for you to give yourself the nickname The Dragon?
Nice question. Because he also calls himself the Dragon.
oh
Yeah. When he first said it, I said, hey, you got to call me Dragon. He's like, you call me Dragon. I'm like, what's up, Dragon? All right, Dragon.
I feel like that's like a stepbrother thing.
It was from Step Brothers.
Oh, okay.
You got to call me Dragon. You got to call me Nighthawk.
Such a good movie.
Great movie. To answer his question, we were sitting around in a circle at Advanced to Alpha, and I was just thinking, like, I've been playing it so small. I am so powerful. I am this big motherfucking fire-breathing dragon. I'm about to bust out. Like, do you know in Lord of the Rings when, like, Smaug, in The Hobbit, don't butcher that. I freaking love Lord of the Rings. But in The Hobbit, when Smaug bursts out of the cave and he goes towards Rivendell, it's like he's obviously a horrible person, about to go kill a bunch of people, but I felt that power. Like, I just burst out of this cave. I'm this dragon where I could go sit in my cave and read books for hours, but I can also go out and burn down your damn town. So it was, what age was I? 24? 24?
24.
I'm going to say 24. It's like 25?
How old
Nah,
how old are you
24.
now?
Oh, yeah, I'm 25 now. So I was
Hey.
24. It was maybe 20. No, it was definitely 24, not 23. I was 24. Was sitting out in the mountains. I was just feeling jacked up as frickin' frack. And I'm like, I'm a freaking dragon. And I've always wanted a big dragon back tattoo.
Oh,
And I was like,
gangster.
why do I want that? I'm like, because that's me. It represents me in all the good ways possible. I feel like I am full of. I feel like dragons are very stoic. They're very calm. They're very. You see a dragon, it's like, oh, I'm a dragon. But they're not like, "Roar." So I feel like I'm this huge, powerful dragon that has a lot of fire within me, in my belly, and I can just go, in the best way possible, just burn down your whole village, or I can go sit in the cave and meditate. So, 24 years old, man. I got the name The Dragon, gave it to myself. No one else calls me it. Maybe you have once, but if anyone wants to call me The Dragon, be my guest.
He is the dragon.
Yes, ma'am.
I absolutely love that. So, to wrap up this podcast, I have got the quick 5. So, I'm going to ask you 5 questions and you're just going to answer it.
All right. Like, do
Whatever.
I answer it off the cusp?
Yeah, whatever comes to you.
jeez, okay.
Oh my God, stress. Okay, first of all, what is your favorite book?
Man. All right.
You can have a
Can I have
few.
subcategories?
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Nearest Dearest, How to Win Friends and Influence People, because it was the first self-development book. Way the Superior Man, because it's something that really helped me step into my masculine, my manhood, and really helped me take charge of my life. King, Warrior, Magician, Lover, it helped me understand a lot about myself and other people. The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, because I just love them so much. I love a lot of Stephen King work as well, but I'll wrap it up there.
Yeah. Also, I'm so
Yeah.
sorry, but I haven't seen The Hobbit or Lord of the Rings, but...
You got 12 hours? What are you up to after this? So we'll do the Lord of the Rings extended edition's 12 hours, and the Hobbit's another like 10 hours or so.
That's just insane. I can't sit still for that long.
It's amazing. Do it. Christmas Day, block up your plans.
Sorry, fam. I can't come anymore.
Not important. Tolkien
Priorities.
is important. Gandalf is important. In the back of my car right now, this is dead set. I have a Gandalf costume in the back of my car. Don't ask why. It was a Halloween costume from a few years ago. It somehow ended up in a bag that was going to get given away. And I said, no, don't give that away, and pulled it back out. So I should have rocked up and done this in Gandalf costume.
That would have been so
Like a 4-piece set too. Wig, beard, hat, robe, overrobe, throw, bag.
Did you just say you got this a few years ago and it's still in your car?
Well, no, it was in a bag about to be thrown away. And I looked in the bag and said, this isn't getting thrown. This is very near and dear to me.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Yep.
Okay, next question is...
You never know when I might need it.
Yeah, exactly. Next question is, who is the person you admire or look up to the most?
Can this be like a multiple?
Yeah, I'll
All right.
allow it.
One of them is my brother. He's
Aw.
just always been my absolute idol since I was a wee young chap. He has a wife and beautiful son. He's just such a hard worker. Him and I always talk like we're just each other. We're the same person on different multiverse. We're the exact same person. He's a little older. He's just done a little more. We're on a different we're like this, constantly moving like this. And I will speak about stuff. He's like, yeah, I did that, the exact same age you were. And we'll speak about stuff. He's like, yep, I know. So he's just been my absolute idol. Another one is Guy Anderson. He is just relentless, optimistic, loving, so loving. And he's like one of my absolute idols. I just get emotional even thinking about him because he's just a man. He's brotherhood. We do so much together, and he's been so supportive and caring with me, and also put a lot of trust in me as well to be a part of that. So here's another one. That's those two.
Oh, amazing. Okay, if you could go back to your younger self
Ooh.
at maybe, I want to say 23 selfishly because I'm 23, but
Yep.
let's go back a little bit more. If you could go back to your let's say 21-year-old self, because I think that's the age where maybe people are starting to graduate from uni if they did do that or something. So what would you say to your 21-year-old self?
Fuck, man, I love you. I'd say that to him. I'd say, I love you so much, man. Don't worry. It's going to be okay. Just keep on doing whatever you want. Don't be afraid to fail. Don't be so scared of judgment. Nobody is judging you. It's all in your head. I wouldn't obviously you could be like, yeah, fucking invest in Bitcoin, something like that. But if I was to say anything that might fuck up the timeline, I wouldn't be in this room talking with you. So I wouldn't want to change much. I'd just say, I love you, give you a big hug. It's going to be okay. Life's awesome. Enjoy the ride. Take some more pictures maybe.
Be real. Invent be real.
Invent, be real. Become a millionaire. Yep.
I love that. You're about to go on a roller coaster, buddy. So
Yeah.
just wrap in
Strap in, boy.
and enjoy it.
Yep.
Oh, I really love that. Okay, what is the worst piece of advice you've ever been given?
It's happened a couple of times when I've had an idea of what I want to do. It's happened. I've explained one of them to you, and another one was another near and dear person to me when I said, this is what I want to do. And they said, the worst piece of advice was, oh, you shouldn't do that. Don't try that. It's probably not going to work.
No.
So that's probably the worst piece of advice is people saying, oh no, like, that's probably a pretty bad idea. Like, fuck them. Go try that bad idea.
Yeah.
Unless you're about to jump off a huge cliff with no parachute. I mean, let's be realistic. If you have an idea or a vision or something you want to try and someone tells you it's probably not going to work out, it's like a bit unsafe, don't listen to them. That's bad advice.
Yeah.
And another piece of bad advice is reverse parking at Woolworths. Because you got to put your groceries in the boot, and if you reverse park, you can't do that. So don't do that.
Thanks for that.
Pro tip.
Okay, next one is, what is your current morning routine?
Oh, man. I just moved house, so it's been a bit weird.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, wake up is a good start.
Wow, well done.
Yep.
Love
I
that.
think we relate to that. Everyone. All right.
Also,
Wake up.
sorry, this is really off topic, but I was at the house the other day and Chloe gave me the tour and I saw your room. I was like, this is a vibe, very aesthetic. We also have the same rug. Fun fact.
Oh, nice. Which rug, upstairs or downstairs? Like the little one in my room or the one on the floor upstairs?
Oh, the little one in your room.
All right, the one upstairs is a vibe too. It's this big fur.
I was like,
rug.
so fluffy.
Sick, eh? I got that on Marketplace, Facebook Marketplace. Morning routine. When were you in my room?
When I was,
When I was away, was I away?
Yeah.
I probably would have been a little bit messy, I reckon.
No, it was so clean.
That's right. I keep a clean room.
That's
Make your bed in the morning. All right, yeah. Okay, morning routine. First thing I do is wake up and make my bed. That's like
Yes.
just
You're psycho if you don't. Is
You're weird.
Yeah.
so weird if you don't. And you would have seen I have a throw at the end of the bed. I have like display pillows. Make your room your sanctuary. Make it pretty. Make it nice. Make it feel good. I buy new sheets, like not all the time, but like often I'll have like a new bottom sheet, or I wash my sheets all the time. Make sure your bed is your freaking domain, man. Like that's got to be so clean, so nice, and so good to get into. So I make that trucker. Then I'll generally put clothes on and go to the toilet. I'll drink heaps of water. I'll get my this bad boy out.
Oh my God. How many liters is that?
3.8.
It's just a workout holding it.
Drink water. I have High Vibe water, awesome company. It's really important. The water you take in is very important because a lot of tap water is filled with poisonous chemicals and terrible things, and it's just going through old pipes, collecting aluminium, collecting rust and all this bad shit. So I drink High Vibe water with Celtic sea salt, really good to rehydrate yourself after a night's sleeping. You breathe a lot and you dehydrate yourself a lot. So salty water, not like pure salty, but like a little bit of salt, High Vibe water. Shout out to High Vibe, absolute beautiful people. Make my bed, brush my teeth, drink water, use the loo. Then I'll generally walk Fred, the dog, walk my puppy, go outside, walk him, he'll do his poop, we'll go back. I'll smash like a piece of fruit and then have my multivitamins because I can't have them on an empty belly, get a little bit sick,
Yeah.
feel a little bit shitty.
It was sensitive.
And then head to Brotherhood.
Nice.
I head to Brotherhood. That is like an essential part of the morning. I'll be coaching. The days I'm not coaching, I normally head to the space and train anyway. I will be heading back to the group sessions that I don't coach to train there, but I've had the run training, so it's been a little bit different. But
Yeah.
Brotherhood, for any man on the Gold Coast, or for any person, your morning routine should involve movement and outside and sun, and Brotherhood encapsulates all of that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, it's so beautiful. I'm like,
Yep.
I don't often wish I was a man, but when I hear about what you guys do, I'm like, "Mwah."
Yeah. Get jealous. It's freaking sick,
I
man.
do get jealous. Okay, so you don't do any meditation or breath work?
Well, that's part of Brotherhood.
Yeah, okay, so you do it.
I
at
do, like,
Brotherhood.
I do a little bit of stretch, and I tend to visualize, I'll visualize a lot of the day early on. So I kind of plan the day the night before and visualize it a bit, but in the morning I'll just visualize everything that's going to happen that day, everything I need to get done. I'll think about it. I'm not a huge, like, this is my morning routine, this is what I do every morning. I'm not a huge, like, into that. There has a few core things like hydrate, make my bed, walk Fred. They're just, like, non-negotiables. But I think as much as, like, the other things are great, you can fall into a pattern of, like, I need to do these things. And if life occurs and you can't do them and you start falling apart, you're not flexible to life. You know, you need to be able to adapt. So I have a few core pillars that, like, get done, but then most days are kind of pretty different depending on what I'm doing.
I think that's so important. And then you actually are consistent with it.
Yeah.
Because if you miss a day, you're not like, oh, I've missed a day now, I just can't do it.
Yeah.
You're just like, okay, cool, we'll just get back onto that train.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Be very flexible because life's going to throw curveballs all the time. You got to be ready for that. You can't
Yeah.
crumble at the slight indifference in your morning.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, I love that. And the last question I have for you
Okay.
is if you could embed a habit, a mindset, a belief in the people's brains that are listening right now, and they have to implement it or they have to believe this, what would it be?
I got it. I know it. This is so important. So important is fix your self-talk. Talk to yourself like you're talking to your best friend. You know, you're always trying to hype them up. You're giving them like, man, you look great. You're doing good. Talk to them like you want to get talked to. Talk to yourself like you really should, because self-talk is a huge thing that people don't realize the power of. The optimistic, I call myself the aggressively optimistic person because I am aggressively optimistic. I'll wake up and I'm always constantly in my head talking about things. Like I know they should say like get out of your head and stuff, but in my head's freaking sick. I'm optimistic as fuck. So fix your self-talk. Stop saying, this is too close. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Stop putting yourself down. Stop calling yourself bad names. Stop being so negative to yourself. Love the shit out of you. Do it in your own head. Because if you can sit there and just fill your own cup with gratitude, with love, with excitement, without anyone hearing, without anyone else, you can just go out and like you don't need anyone else to hype you up. The whole world could be burning around you, and you're just like, we're gonna get through it, boys. We're good. We got this. So fix your self-talk. Stop hyping yourself up. Even talk out loud. Look in the mirror. Walk around. Sing some cool songs and hype yourself up every day because you'll feel immensely better.
That is so stunning. I love that. It's so important.
Yeah, it's so easy to do as well. It's free. It is just time tested. It is so effective. Talk to yourself like you love yourself. Like really love yourself. And you might not believe it at first. Like you might feel forced or fake, but over time it'll start working its way in, and fake it till you make it. Just hype the shit out of yourself every single day and you will start to believe that and you will become that.
Yeah, 100%. And pretend like, you're like, how would you want your best friend to treat themselves? How would you want your sibling to treat themselves? And
Yep.
you'd want them to love the shit out of themselves. So like you need
Yep.
to embody that.
Exactly.
That is stunning, Adam. You have been incredible. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Oh,
I really enjoyed it.
You're so welcome. If the people, the accents didn't even come out.
I was waiting for that.
If the people want to find you, if the people want to find you, where can they find you? What is your Instagram handle?
My Instagram handle is Adam W. Green _. Don't forget the underscore.
That was really good.
Thank you, ma'am. I'm a man of the South.
He really is a cowboy.
I'm a cowboy through and through.
Yeehaw. Well, guys,
Yeehaw.
if you have... No, I can't do it. If you guys have enjoyed this podcast, gotten something from it, please feel free to screenshot it, put it on your story, tag us, as we'd love to know who is listening. It really does help spread the good word of this podcast. If you want, leave a cheeky review. 5 stars would be amazing, but up to you. And I'll leave Adam's details below. He posts a lot of beautiful, positive content, so definitely follow along. High vibes always. And I'll see you guys next week for another episode. Thank you and good night.
Nice.
Bye.
Bye.